Life was given to us 1 billion years ago. What have we done with it?
The history of Earth is unimaginably long. If it were sped up to the equivalent of a single day, all of humankind, from the earliest skeletons to the invention of the iPhone, would have occurred in only the last 4 seconds. Dinosaurs were still roaming Earth about 20 minutes before that. But the creation of our planet occurred more than 23 hours earlier. 2 cycles on this clock, or 4.5 billion years ago.
Before Homo sapiens began to populate the Earth, another human species had established itself across much of the Eurasian continent. Neanderthals managed to survive for some 300,000 years.
They had culture, they had social systems, they had intelligence. Neanderthals had a basic language. They were talking to each other, they had speech capabilities.
So it seems likely that Neanderthals were able to communicate with each other.
It was a complex and sophisticated form of language that allowed groups to exchange information with each other. And that was crucial to their survival.
The survival of the tribe was essential. That's also why groups of Neanderthals met often.
For example, once a year, they'd gather to exchange information, and that Neanderthals also exchanged women at these meetings.
They lived together in small groups and reproduced amongst themselves, and that could cause genetic problems. So, for example, I might exchange my sister for someone else's. This would help to enhance the group's genetic continuity.
And then they disappeared. First humans of the species Homo sapiens arrived in Western Europe. This development appeared to seal the fate of the Neanderthals. There's been a lot of speculation about why and how this happened.
But suddenly, with the arrival of Homo sapiens, they disappeared. They never returned to the caves where they had lived.
As the general population lives longer and longer thanks to all the advances in medical science in the last century, a new report from the World Bank says that we've also created drug-resistant infections that, if gone unchecked, could kill some 10 million people by the year 2050. This drug resistance is passed through sewage and septic tanks into our waterways and into the oceans. That this is even documented within Amazonian tribes who have never seen antibiotics or Western medicine before. That the balance of microbes on Earth are needed to sustain life and are indispensable to the planet's microbiome and could ultimately be the cause of our demise.
Has the clock really been ticking towards a post-antibiotic future? It's 1928 and a Petri dish left next to an open window is about to revolutionize modern medicine. It's penicillin, the first antibiotic. This wonder drug and other antibiotics will go on to saving millions of lives. As each time we used them, misused them, and overused them, we gave the bacteria a chance to become resistant. Scientists have been unable to bring new antibiotics to market. It's 2050. The cupboard is bare. 2020. Climate change is headline news. Forests burn. Scientists predict rising sea levels. There is a sense that time for action is running out. And then comes COVID. It's a fast-moving pandemic, a million-dead biotic future, where drug-resistant infections kill 10 million people a year, where chemotherapy is unsafe, where simple surgeries are too risky to perform, where the world's biggest child killer, pneumonia, is now unstoppable. Is this just a projection? And against this backdrop, a chance to change the narrative on that other looming global catastrophe, the one we already know about, antibiotic resistance. Because everyone sees now we can mobilize, we can take individual and collective responsibility, and we must be prepared.
The resistant bacteria reach the skin or intestines via food or water, but the germs are also transmitted further. If someone gets ill or is injured, they can pass on serious infections. If antibiotics don't work, the bacteria quickly spread and can lead to life-threatening blood poisoning.
The bacteria are part of our ecosystem, around us, within us, trillions upon trillions, helpful as well as harmful. And resistance is natural, to be expected, until a random mutation enables the bacteria to overcome the drug. At each line, the antibiotic is 10 times more concentrated, but there are also more mutations. It's evolution by natural selection, only very, very fast. We live in a petri dish too, but by increased misuse, we only encouraged the mutations. We overprescribed, of course we did. Medicine is not an exact science. Diagnosis is difficult, and people expect to be cured. The building is catching fire. The edifice is crumbling. The cupboard is running bare. In some ways, COVID has made the problem worse. In large quantities of antibiotics have been prescribed to patients. If it motivates us, if the world mobilizes, individuals, doctors, scientists, yes, governments and policymakers too. The solutions are scientific, but they're also economic, and they are societal. It's a collective effort. It's not a sort of an imaginary projection that it's going to get worse. We know that's going to happen. The point is we do have the opportunity to do something about it.